Hey guys, what's up? It's iRocker77, it's Bennett, and I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a quick what's in my dock video along with some things that I'm really enjoying about the new Mac operating system. Now, once I get to that operating system thing, a lot of you guys out there are going to know a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. It's not going to be anything new to you. However, I just want to kind of share with you my experience. Now, this is just going to be kind of the software, my experience with the Mac operating system. Later on, I will get into a video about the MacBook Pro in itself because there are some things that I like about the MacBook Pro. I want to talk a little bit about the trackpad. I'm obviously going to do a review, and the thing is that I've actually watched several MacBook Pro 13-inch reviews, and the one thing that I've seen a lot of, which I think is ridiculous, is that in the review, the stuff that's not new, they're not talking about. In other words, trackpad. They don't talk about the trackpad or the keyboard or the glossy LED backlit screen or the unibody construction because that's not new. Mainly they talk about the SD and FireWire ports that are on the side now, which I think is ridiculous, but that's for another day. Let's get into it. So obviously I have the Finder in my dock. I have Dashboard. I do actually use Dashboard. Some people don't. I'm actually going to try. I don't know how I want to get some widgets that I want to get some more widgets, but I did download, I guess, well, not really download, I just kind of added a few of them to this one here. So let's go ahead and kill that. I do use the standard mail client. That's there are some other options out there, I know, but I do use the standard mail client. I do use Safari. It's Safari 4. I prefer that over Firefox. I think that it's better integrated with the Mac operating system. Safari is built for Mac, and so I use it for Mac. I don't really use Firefox. Now on the PC, Firefox is way better than Internet Explorer, but on the Mac, if you're kind of debating between browsers, I would definitely go Safari. I do use iChat a lot, guys. iChat, and then I'll go ahead and say Skype. If you guys want to Skype me or iChat with me, I actually Skype with Sam Rennie quite a bit, who's a good friend of mine through YouTube. You know, guys, if y'all, any of my subscribers want to, have a little chat, I'm totally cool with that. I have iCal here. I have not really put anything in iCal yet, but once school starts, I think that that'll actually be something really useful. iCal is actually it's a very clean application. It's very nice. But I just don't have a use for it yet. So I do have iLife09, obviously. I have iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand, and iWeb in my dock. Now, on your original dock, when you boot up your new Mac, you're only going to have iPhoto, iMovie, and GarageBand. I put iWeb in here because I am trying to work a little bit on a website for you guys, but don't expect that till way later on. And then, of course, the final thing in the iLife09 suite is iDVD. I am actually working on a project in iDVD right now, but I just don't have it in my dock. I don't really have a use for it. iTunes, guys. I have a big question for y'all. Alright, so you guys know that I previously had the computer that I had, my XPS 420, my Dell XPS 420. Well, my dad also has a Dell XPS, but it's a laptop, okay? Now, here's my question. I have all of my iTunes library on that laptop. What do I need to do to get that iTunes library onto my MacBook? I guess really the question I'm trying to ask is, can I talk to an Apple genius? Is that something that an Apple genius can do? Guys, that's a really important question for me. I really do want my iTunes library on here so that I can sync my iPhone with my MacBook. So guys, please let me know that in the comment box. Guys, I do have the iWork 09 suite as well. Some people were kind of like, well, you need to go Office for Mac because some teachers can't read the file format. Well, you actually can in iWork change the file format to the standard Office, but I did go ahead and get iWork Pages I actually prefer over Word. Not necessarily Keynote and Numbers, but then again, I don't use Keynote and Numbers all that much anyways. But Pages, in my opinion, is a much simpler and a much cleaner application. TweetDeck is obviously my preferred Twitter client, but I do actually want to try out Tweety. Tweety looks very nice. I've seen some reviews on it, and the only thing that I don't like about TweetDeck is just the way it looks. It's just kind of, I don't know, that gray. It just doesn't look great, but you know, it does what it's supposed to do. Photo Booth, I do like Photo Booth. I do use Photo Booth, and when I'm filming videos, I film in Photo Booth for my eyesight. My Flip Minnow, for some reason, there's something wrong with it, guys. I don't know. So expect a few ScreenFlow videos until I can get that up and working. But once I do, there will be a MacBook Pro review. But you're not missing any unboxing, anything like that, guys. So just stay tuned. Alright, so here's the deal. My uncle did have an unlimited licensed thing for Office for Mac 2008, so I did go ahead and get Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and then it also included something called Microsoft Entourage. Entourage is basically a take on Microsoft Outlook, and Microsoft Outlook is the standard mail client for Windows Vista, Windows XP, and Windows 7. But I'm Entourage is based on the Mac for, in other words, for the Mac, it's pointing towards business users, and I prefer the standard mail client over that because I'm not a business user. Then obviously I have the Skype application. I had the Skype program on my Windows computer, and it's a much cleaner application on the Mac. I do have ScreenFlow, as you guys see it. Then I have my applications, my downloads. ScreenFlow was one of those downloads. And then my documents. Alright, so there's three things that I'm liking a lot more than this, but there's three things I want to talk about. First is Spaces and Expose. Now, Spaces essentially lets you have multiple desktop spaces. Now, what that allows you to do in the end is to have when you have clutter, you can kind of organize it. But that's what it's aimed towards. It's aimed towards people who have a lot of clutter, so they want to like organize it. What I actually use it for is to isolate an application. If I'm working on something, then I'm actually going to use it for, in other words, let's say when I'm editing this ScreenFlow video, I'm going to put that in a space. And I'm not going to have that with my other things. Now in my first space, I run my basic applications. I run my TweetDeck, my Mail, and my Safari, because those are the things that I use the most. So I can run all of those on the same page. Then, you know, when I'm working on a document for school, which I'm actually doing in Pages now, I put a movie alongside with that so that I could watch the movie while I was working on my Pages document. So I use it to isolate applications. Now, I'm sure that many of you are familiar with Expose, but the one thing that is nice, I'll go ahead and open up an application here. Let's open up iWeb. The one thing that I do like about the MacBook Pro is the four-finger gesture that I could do to access Expose, and you see that now. The other thing is that if you have a lot of clutter on your desktop, you can move them up so that they go out. Then you click here, and you get your Finder window, and you can do whatever you need to do on your desktop. Alright, guys, so that's about it for the things that I'm enjoying. Oh, one thing. Hold up. Alright. Kill that. One other thing that I'm really liking is Time Machine, and I actually need to go back up right now, but I'm using my 1TB Western Digital MyBook, and I'm using Time Machine to back that up, and I have not run into a situation where I need that, but that could occur, and I highly recommend that you would go ahead and do that if, you know, just for all intensive purposes, it's something really useful. Guys, I'm about to hit that 10-minute limit. Until next time, it's iRiker77. It's Bennett. Peace. Sorry, guys.